G'day guys, today I wanted to talk a little bit about how you can build a complete pond filter system yourself. It's cheap and easy to do and will provide you with an easy to maintain pond. That's the aim of the channel, to help you build and maintain a lovely pond, but doing it on a budget. So to start with, I want to show you some of the expensive professional equipment, and then we'll take a look at how we can replicate it on a budget. This pond here is my small aquascape pond. It's the small professional kit. It's a step up from the small DIY pond kit. It's a great little setup. I love it, but it is expensive. This setup cost me around $5,000. Contrast that with this pond. It cost around $2,000 and it's bigger. Now I live in Australia, so in other parts of the world, the same products may be cheaper, but all I can go by is what it costs me here. Anyway, when it comes to a complete filtration system for a pond, there are two main components. The biological filter, which in this pond is actually inside the waterfall, and a mechanical filter, which is hidden under this fake rock. The mechanical filter's purpose is to remove floating debris from the pond before it sinks. This will greatly reduce the amount of maintenance on the pond. It also makes the surface look better, as it's basically constantly sweeping away that debris. The pump is sitting inside the mechanical filter. This sucks everything in the pond to this one spot. This type of filter is called a skimmer. You can see it has a narrow opening and a weir door. This creates a tension on the water, which helps floating debris get sucked in. This professional skimmer has a leaf basket, so you can easily empty it out. On top of the pump, it also has a coarse filter mat to collect small debris that passes through the basket. This skimmer is the Aquascape Signature 400. It'll set you back $859 here in Australia. That's from Aquascape Supplies Australia. On this pond I built my own skimmer for $10, but more on that later. First we need to discuss the biological filter. The biological filter is what keeps the water crystal clear and safe for the fish. So like I mentioned, in this professional aquascape pond, that filter is inside the waterfall. So this pond is using the Aquascape Signature Series 1000 Biofalls filter. This one costs $550 in Australia. It includes filter mats and plumbing accessories, but you will need to buy bio balls. For a 100 pack, you're looking at $60. The bioballs are critical to the effectiveness of the filter as they provide surface area for nitrifying bacteria. Nitrifying bacteria are the most important part of any biological filter. Without adequate bacteria, the pond will become a green mess, or even worse, become deadly for the fish. The filter mats inside the filter will also grow bacteria, but their main purpose is to trap sediments instead of returning them to the pond. This constant circulation of water from the skimmer to the waterfall filter creates a brilliant filter system. It works, it's simple, and it's easy to maintain. But can it be replicated using cheap, everyday items? Yes, it can. When you think about how the professional system works, it's really quite simple. All we need to do is pull water from one side of the pond, run it through a biological filter, and return it to the pond. And both filters are easy to make yourself. In fact, the original aquascape filters were pieced together using common items like garbage bins. So my mechanical filter, or skimmer, on this pond is a humble 20-litre bucket. I've placed the bucket in the bottom left-hand corner of the pond. The pond sits inside the bucket. Over the top of the pump, I have a coarse filter sponge, just like the aquascape skimmer. To create the surface tension that creates the skimming action, I used large rocks to create a narrow opening, and a small piece of excess pond liner created a sort of flap, much like the door on the professional skimmer. The only thing I'm missing is a leaf basket, so I just use an aquarium pond net to scoop out the leaves when needed. For the biological filter, I used a large 220-litre tub. This got buried in behind the berm and stream I created using some of the dirt from the pond dig. Remember, the biological filter has a couple of jobs. 1, to provide a home for heaps of nitrifying bacteria, and 2, to capture small particles that pass through the skimmer. So to achieve that, I have the water entering the barrel from the skimmer. Hopefully you can see the white pipe on the right hand side. It's quite hidden by the plants. That pipe goes all the way down to the bottom of the barrel. At the bottom of the barrel, I have rocks around the size of a melon, and then I layer them smaller and smaller until I end up with really small gravel on top. This allows any small solids that pass through the skimmer to become trapped in the bottom of the barrel. And I've also added a ball valve at the base of the barrel so I can easily flush it out from time to time. The water exits the barrel from the top via a 2-inch pipe. All of this is quite hidden behind an old stump, some rocks and the plants. The water then spills into a narrow stream. From there, it doglegs around and back into the pond. So this type of biological filter is more of a bog-style filter. It's similar to the aquascape biological filter in that it traps sediment and provides an abundance of area for nitrifying bacteria. Growing aquatic plants in the biological filter also helps remove excess nutrients directly from the water. There are many ways to build a biological filter. You don't need to use a barrel. At the moment, I'm in the process of building a very large pond. I'm calling it my dream pond because it's so big. It has 2 large bog filters that are being built inside of pond liner. The principle is still the same though. Layers of rocks that trap sediments and provide home for the bacteria and an easy way to clean out. And these filters aren't just for big ponds, you can also do it on a much smaller scale. This is a tiny 100-litre wine barrel pond. Above the pond is a small scale bog or biological filter. I've got lots of videos showing how these different size systems are created on the cheap. So if you want to be able to create affordable, easy to maintain pond that looks great, this is the channel for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll chat with you in the next video. See ya.